push to talk. All right, we are ready to rock and roll. We have with us a special guest today. Logan, say hi.
Hello.
Perfect. All right, so we'll do a little something different today. On occasion, you'll have your players will want to switch characters. Any number of reasons. It's happened many times throughout life. I've done it myself as well. Um, or, of course, you could also have a character die. But in this particular case, uh, you guys will recognize Logan from the live streams of the Sunday campaigns and the Wednesday campaigns. Um, so there's a campaign I don't actually stream, and so he's playing a kobold monk um, named Rugs. It's a really cool character. I like him a lot. But he's Logan is taking a look at a brand new homebrew called the Pugilist. The cool thing is Logan took the time and the effort to convert the Pugilist class into Fantasy Grounds, and you can see all his work here. It's got everything done. It looks very professional on just like all the other classes. Um, he's got all the breakdowns and all the different subclasses as well, and there are a ton of them. So he did a really good job with it. So we're going to be taking a look at that today. So let's go ahead and get things rolling. So go ahead and start with a new character in the character selection. And while you're pulling that up, tell us a little bit about your history. How long have you been playing Dungeons and Dragons?
I've been playing for maybe a couple years, but I've only been in the one campaign before I switched to Fantasy Grounds, and so I don't have that much experience playing D&D or Starfinder.
All right. And so you said that you had one before you did Fantasy Grounds, so you've done one campaign, tabletop campaign. The rest of it's all been Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, that was about it. Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome. All right. So here's our new character. So you had mentioned when you had made this that you had found one glitch. So without doing anything else, let's just jump in. Uh, go ahead and open up the classes. I don't think you have to have the module open, but see, open up the classes and see if Pugilist is in your class list.
I do not see it, so I think I do have to
All right, so
activate it.
yeah, so go ahead and go to your library. Um, for those of you watching, let me show you what I'm talking about. Go here to modules. Since this is its own, so I search for it, Pugil. Here we go, boom. and that's where you load it.
Okay, I got it loaded.
All right, so now you should see it in the classes. Go ahead and drop that onto this blank character. All right, so I took my test character up to level 3 and didn't see any issues. So go ahead. What level did you say that there were problems with the links?
Or no, there wasn't. It wasn't like a certain level. It's just like, uh, you know how when you actually look at like the info of the class,
Hmm.
there's two tabs. There's the main tab and then the other tab.
Yes.
If you like click on the features on the main tab, at least when I tested it, it came up with a blank window with nothing on it. But that appears to not be the case on this one, so I don't know what was happening.
Okay, so you're talking about on toward the bottom of the main page where it has like Moxie. When you would
Yeah,
click the link
yeah.
Moxie, nothing popped up.
Well, something did pop up, but it was just completely blank. But I guess I tried to get other people to test it, but they wouldn't, and so I just set up a second like server and
Right.
loaded it in that, and that's what happened. But I guess it's not happening here, which is
Excellent.
nice.
Cool. Yeah, awesome. Like I said, I didn't see any problems with anything you had done. I didn't, like I said, I didn't take it beyond third level when I picked it, but it does everything it's supposed to do. So you're the only thing that's missing is the flavor text. So, and I don't know
Oh, I knew
if
I
you had
forgot
wanted to
something.
put that in there or not. But just the whole thing about what a pugilist is and why and stuff like that. Um, and it's usually above, the very first thing to start with. And honestly, it's what most people ignore, but uh, it does exist. The author took the time to write it, so if you want to add that in there, other than that, it looks perfect. Um, and it works well. So as you add the levels, the various windows pop up for questions, um, asking you what, for example, skills you want or what subclass you want, all that stuff. So that it is perfect so far. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and kill this guy. So
Oh,
up in the right corner, right click on that, and then yours is different as a player, but one of them, I think it's release up on your portrait. There you go. And I'm going to delete it, delete, delete. All right, so now, cool, excellent. Um, so go ahead and pop open another one. This one will be the real one. So what we're going to be doing today is we're taking his level 2 character and we're just going to convert it into this new character. So we're going to be taking those. When we started this campaign, they did roll for their stats and stuff. So we're going to use the same rolls, same numbers. Everything is the same. We're just going to transpose the ones that he wants to switch around. Um, Same class, same level. Uh, and this is a little bit of a spoiler for Logan, but they're in the Underdark right now, and there are these patches of what's called Fey Res, and they've already run into one once. And it's basically this wild magic. It's being caused by something, but they don't know what's causing it yet. Um, but in these patches, you can almost see it in the air. The air almost sparkles to some extent, and anytime magic is cast, it has a chance to go crazy. So weird stuff happens in this Fey Res. And so what's going to happen is if he decides definitively, yes, he wants to switch, then their group is going to run into another patch of this, and Ruggs is going to get transformed into this new character. He's going to swap places with this other dimensional Ruggs, and so that's how I'm going to do it. Obviously, there are lots of different ways DMs can play switching characters. Some people just hand wave it, so all of a sudden, boof, there's a new character. No explanation required. party just runs with them and accepts them, and we move on. All the way to people who take 2 or 3 camp sessions to introduce the new character and this whole storyline and getting rid of the other character and what happens to them and this whole thing. And there's any way you choose to do it, as long as you are judging your character, your players, and the DM correctly, it all works. So whatever works best for you guys. All right, so go ahead and did you make your new dude yet?
Oh, sorry.
There he is. All right. Let me go while you do that. So go ahead and open up both. Go ahead and grab rugs as well. All right, so you know the pugilist, especially after doing all the conversion yourself. So just go ahead. I'm not worried about anything as far as racial bonuses or anything like that. Just switch the straight numbers, 12, 19, 15, 12, 14, 9, straight across into any combination you want. So just type them in. You can just click the box and type it in.
Oh, so that's a 17, not 19, because kobolds get a +2 to
Don't
Dex.
not worried
Making
about
sure.
that. Just take the straight 19, put it anywhere you want. Same thing with the 12,
Okay.
14, 9. No.
Okay.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Hold your horses. First thing we
Oh,
need to do is go ahead and add the race. So go ahead and throw his
okay.
race, kobold, onto the new guy, and then do all the stats, because otherwise it's going to tweak the stats. So let me see what I've
Okay.
got for in my assets while he's doing that. There we go. Good. I'm going to clear token portraits. And this is going to be mainly strength based.
Yeah.
All right, so as far as portrait, do you want to go with like a gray so you can see it there? Or you can go with, stick with your red, a little more aggressive.
I mean,
I also have a purple,
I think the original one is fine,
gray.
unless you want me to change it to make it less confusing.
You talking about that one?
Yeah.
All right, so um, so now go ahead and now that you've thrown cobalt on there, go ahead and switch the stats over. Finish doing that.
Okay. I guess that's fine.
All right, looks good. I figured as much as we were talking about it, we were probably just going to switch. So I wasn't sure if you're going to go with con or strength as your main stat. Strength, I think, is a solid choice because you're going to be doing your damage and your attack will be based on strength. So I believe pugilists use strength as their attack, or is it dex, or it can be
I
either
use
one.
strength.
Because a monk can use either one. I wasn't sure how it works with them. All right, so let's go ahead and did you want to keep the same background? So as I mentioned earlier, the concept is there are parallel dimensions, and uh, we'll say pugilist rugs. Um, the exact same things happened to him in his dimension, uh, and he was with a group, and they got captured, and they're in the process of trying to escape. What's going to happen is the two dimensions are going to overlap, and you're going to switch places. Uh, so having said that, pugilist rugs could have a different background if you want him to. Do you want him to, or do you want to keep the same
I
outline there?
mean, I'm fine with the same background. And
All right, so I've got it right here. I'll just drag and drop it for you. Boom.
okay.
Okay. Uh, so while we're thinking about it, in the he had chosen Undercommon as his language. Is that what you want to keep?
Yeah, it makes
Yes.
sense for a kobold to know Uncommon, right?
And it's also, even though you didn't know it at the time, it's very fitting for the setting as well.
Hmm.
All right, and so you had chosen bagpipes as your instrument.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep that?
I mean, I don't really plan on playing instruments, so sure. Who knows? It might change.
You should, man, especially since you chose bagpipes. That's definitely something to be interesting. All right, so um, you got. All right, so now that you have your skills, you have athletics, and keep in mind athletics and survival. You already start with knowing. So now go ahead and add pugilist to the character. Boom. Okay, and now you can pick your skills. I will change the armor class. So for those watching, a pugilist is different than what I had in my mind. When I think of a pugilist, I think of the 1940s boxer with the both hands raised, bare-chested, um, English person with the handlebar mustache. Uh, the author of this has made it to where it's lots of different options and has made it very flexible. So like when I first saw the skills, I was like, why in the world would a pugilist need stealth, sleight of hand, deception? That's pretty much the opposite of what a real pugilist is. But the way that he's written it, you have different subclasses like a ninja and um, dog and hound, and so there's lots of different ways you can take this class once you get to that point. Um, but one of the things that they all get is unarmored defense, but unlike it's called Iron Chin, and so your AC is 12, which is Nice, because it gives you that extra bonus plus your con modifier. Unlike the monk, though, you cannot use a shield to get this Iron Chin bonus. All right, and so if you guys missed what I did there, if you click on the magnifying glass underneath armor class, it then allows you to pull up make a lot of different changes to things. And in this particular case, you cannot change the armor class base. Uh, so what I did is the dex bonus goes away. So you don't get the dex bonus anymore because he's switching to the Iron Chin. But you see here you have the second stat you can change to con, and then you add the because it's a base 12, just add that to miscellaneous. Boom, and so now his total armor class is 14, completely unarmored. All right, so in inventory, what we need to do, because he is using his his unarmed strike, we're going to go ahead and add that to him. And so what you do is you can add a new item. You want to make sure the type says weapon. And in his particular case, because he is a pugilist, it's 1d6 and it's bludgeoning. And what this does is why are you adding it to inventory? Because when you then go to actions, make sure it's equipped. He now has, I forgot to fix that part. There we go, pugilist, boom. So you can just go right click on the dice, clear, and then drag the proper one in there, boom. So he does 1d6 plus 4 because he still uses his base strength. All right. So Logan, I don't know if you're familiar with it because I think the latest are the only ones I talked to it about. I have mentioned in the past the Grappler's Handbook.
Yeah, Mantha showed me a bit of it, and I looked at it too. It's pretty cool.
So it specifically says as a pugilist you can use your bonus action. Anybody can use a bonus action to do a second attack anyway, as long as you're using proper weapon classes and things. Um, Unarmed strike, anybody can do that. You can as well. But with the Grappler's Handbook, uh, it'll also open up other things if you want to take some feats when you get up to that point. And we can also look at being a pugilist. If this is a way you want to go, if you want to be more hand to hand, more where you're wrestling them, then let me know. We can look at incorporating some of the Grappler's Handbook, the way it works, into your character as well. Basically, there are 3 stances: standing, uh, prone. Two stances: standing and prone, and then when in each of those you have different, you would pick different things that you can do. Some of them are reactions, some of them are attacks. So like I know, for example, one of them is if you're standing and somebody tries to attack you and misses with an attack, melee attack, you can then use your reaction to grapple them. So you grab them and get them into a hold, put them into a hold. So as they swing by you, grab the arm and put them, lock them in. You can also disarm them. Same type of thing. If they miss one of them, another one is you grab it and disarm them, and they drop their weapon. So there are different things you can do. The cool thing about the Grappler's Handbook is it's really well written, and it also allows for damage to be done. So when you have somebody in a hold, you can then exert pressure, hit their pressure points, do damage, or lock them down better. So it's really well written. Think about it. If it's something you want to do, then basically it would just mean picking. Um, I'm going to give it some more thought as well. The Grappler's Handbook is built around fighters, and in this case, the pugilist would work as well. So you would pick one or two things that you'd be able to do, and that's all you would have to worry about is those one or two things, and it would be very situationally specific. So not that much involved with it. Uh, if it's something that you want to go, if you just want to sit there and punch people in the face, drinking your whiskey when you get up to level 3, that works too. All right, so you have your weapon, you have your, did you pick your skills? Yep, perception, survival, acrobatics, athletics, okay. And, all right, so let me, where did I do, what did I do with my pugilist? Here it is, class, let's see, equipment. So I don't have a parcel for him like I did with the other ones. You can use a whip or a hand crossbow, interesting. It's also interesting that you're proficient in improvised weapons. So that's pretty cool. So be keeping that in the back of your mind. I'll be trying to throw more of those things around so that you can, as you're walking along, you can just pick up a rock, throw it, a bone, um, fungus that's around, stuff like that. You can just grab anything around and throw it and attack people with it. All right, so you get Artisans Tools, a gaming set, or Thieves Tools. So Rugs had glassblower tools. Um, what did you want to do for your Artisans Tools? Or
I'm fine
gaming
with
set,
the.
or Thieves Tools?
Or oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's one of the three.
Okay, yeah. I guess. So so what are artisans tools?
So Artisans Tools are things, let me pull up my items. So it's basically anything Craftsman's tools, I guess would be a better way of putting it. Um, let me give you some examples. So you have things, yeah, that would work. So there are appraisers tools, so you would be good at knowing the value of things. Um, there are uh, carpenters, cartographer, a mapper, a cobbler, person who makes shoes, a glassblower, a jeweler, leather worker, mason, navigator, is something similar. It's something with more of, usually more for ships. Somebody who knows, or even, I guess you could do it to overland travel as well. Honestly, navigator tools is not going to be as useful for this campaign, although he wouldn't know that. That's still, but still, they exist. Potter, sculptor, um, blacksmith, and a tattoo artist are the ones I have. Oh, wait a second. That's page 1. And then there's thieves tools, tinkers. So there's make small objects. A torturer's tool, weaver, and wood carver.
I guess.
Or you can go with gaming set, dice, cards, Dragon
I
Annie,
guess
chess.
gaming set was fine. Like, I guess cards, sure.
All right, playing card set. Here we go. Let me add that to your inventory. And then we're going to put this in your. Boom. Boom. Skills is what I'm looking for. All right, right click, create item. I always do this with the characters for if they use these tools or anything that they're proficient in, I add another skill. He is proficient in it. We're going to go with, let's see, it could be charisma or dex. I'm going to say this would be dex. Could even be wisdom. I'm going to go with wisdom because playing cards, especially games like poker and things, you're trying to read the other players. So it's like an insight check, that type of thing, which is wisdom. So I'm going to say your card's skill is based on wisdom. Does that work for you?
Yeah, sure, it works. Yeah.
All right, cool.
So,
So now you can just double click it anytime you want to play poker or play cards. Look at that, natural 20, raking in the bucks. All right. See what else we're missing here. So we've got our skills. Okay, so now let's go back to weapons. The pugilist had some special weapons, didn't they? Didn't you say something about
it.
weapons? Oh, let's see. So he starts with leather armor or any simple weapon, one or the other. Dungeoneers Pack, um, or Explorers Pack. Okay, but the module itself, did you say that it had weapons in it?
Well, I didn't convert the weapons because I didn't see them until later. I was only focused on the class.
Yeah, they don't go. They don't
So,
go into the what you did anyway. They don't go into the class. But so the answer is yes, they do. So let me go ahead and pull it
yeah.
up. Let me see. Oh, I guess I didn't actually do that. Give me just a moment here. So Benjamin Huffman is the one who did all this. We are using his creation. You said, what was the name of the website you use for your character building?
Oh, what do you mean? I don't. Are you talking about Aurora? It's not a
Yeah.
website, it's a program.
Yep. Okay. So Aurora is, um, he has the information there. I want to say it's in D&D Beyond because I remember hearing about it before, uh, but I don't know that for sure if Huffman has put it in D&D Beyond. Here we go. Weapons. So brass knuckles, a guitar, or knuckle knives. So did you want leather armor? Did you want a weapon?
Well, isn't leather armor a light armor? Isn't that like based on dex?
Yes.
I guess I'll take a simple weapon then. I guess just.
All right. So of the three, specifically for the pugilist, Like I said, there's the brass knuckles, a guitar, or knuckle knives. Did you want either of those, or do you want to stick with a simple weapon like, and that's in the items list?
I guess the brass knuckles would be nice.
All right, so you're here it is. So the difference is they all do 1d4, and brass knuckles. Okay, cool. So the nice thing about those is that you can pretty much keep them equipped if you wanted to. Um, they also can be any way that you want them to look. So your traditional brass knuckles are basically three rings that are linked together. And I say three because kobolds have three fingers and a thumb. Um, that you would then slip on over your hand, but you could have it be just a plate of metal that you wear, with a couple rings on it that you slip on. You could have it be almost like a gauntlet. So any way you want to flavor it, you can. It obviously doesn't have to be brass either. It can be any metal. So let's go ahead and build that. Let me see if I have any kind of Yep, so they have weighted knuckles already in the comprehensive. I'll share that with you. And it basically just said exactly what I just said. It can be a set of heavy connected rings or a glove with lead weights covering the knuckles. Um, yeah, so it can be a different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a copy. So what you do is you take this. Um, if you want it to be in a particular place, like the comprehensive manual or anywhere, if you have a special one for your campaign, then you would up here make sure you put it in the right group. For me, I don't care, so it's going to end up in that uncategorized. Drag it down a little bit and let go, and you'll notice over here it's blank. That's because it's a copy. Now we can open it. I'm going to change it to, I'm going to say metal knuckles because I don't like, well, I'll go with brass knuckles. May as well. All right, brass knuckles. And I'm going to change the damage to D4, bludgeoning. All right, so Logan, you would know a monk never does, if he's using a monk weapon, he does either the weapon's damage or his monk damage, whichever is greater. Is a pugilist the same way?
I'm pretty sure. It's like called the fisticuffs feature is what gives them the D6 instead of the normal unarmed damage.
All right, so it says, yep, use unarmed strikes and pugilist weapons. Perfect. So in your particular case, so the brass knuckles, I'm going to keep in the items the way they are, doing 1d4 damage, bludgeoning. But for your case, let's add them to your inventory. Boink. Actions. We're then going to go in here to his magnifying glass next to the weapon. We can do the same thing we did before. Right click to clear the dice, slapping in that. Boom. Okay. So he will be doing damage with his weapon. I think so. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say yours are actually silvered, so they're however you want them to look. And again, you can choose if you wear them on one hand or if you wear them on two hands. However you want them to look, they're coated in silver. And so this will, when we go to damage type, comma, silver. Go, and that's also going to change their value if you ever decide to sell them. There you go. All right, so you can do your normal attack, and then you, if you use your bonus action, you can use your unarmed strike as well.
Okay.
And so keep in mind, not only Logan, but those watching, unarmed strike doesn't necessarily mean your hand. It can be anything. It can be a headbutt. It can be a shoulder, an elbow to the face. It can be a knee. It can be a kick. Pretty much any part of your body. You can even just do a body slam against them, up against a wall. It just means you're not using a weapon. So any part of your body you want to do to inflict that damage, make that attack, you can flavor it however you want. All right, so now let's go back to, do you have any particular, if you want to look at Ruggs' inventory, is there anything there? So the mechanical canary inside the, what does it say? Inside a gnome crafted lamp. That was something special that you found. Do you want that to transfer over as well?
Sure.
You can also roll for a different trinket if you'd rather just have a random trinket and don't want the canary.
Sure, I could roll for a different one.
All right, so I don't know if as a player you have access to it, but if you click over on the right side of the tables, let me pull up trinkets. Boom. What? Oh, there it is. Okay. Boom,
I can
boom,
pull it
boom.
up.
There it is. So do you have the one? Oh, I just shared it with you. The one that says with items.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and do that and roll that one. The difference is that one I don't have to make the item; it's already there. So, all right, a bag containing 47 humanoid teeth. One of them is rotten.
Nice.
Boom. All right, so that's in your thing. Anything else in your inventory of rugs that you want to make sure gets transferred over? Otherwise, what I'm going to do, well, okay, the zircon you would have found, that's a treasure, so let me give that to you. Okay. Yep. Okay, so what the other thing is, so did you want an explorer or a, all right, so from the Outlander, I can go ahead and add those to you. Parcel. I have that parcel, I just don't have the Pugilist parcel yet. Outlander. Boof. There you go. And by the way, when it says staff, that is a walking staff. That is not a quarterstaff. It does not. It can't be used as a weapon. Um, it can be used as an arcane focus, but it's typically just a walking stick. Basically, what that is. And if,
Okay.
again, if you don't want it, you can just delete it. Uh, all right, so that's your Outlander stuff. So the Puge, the other thing he gets is Dungeoneers Pack or Explorers Pack. So which one of those would you like?
Uh, Probably the Dungeoneers Pack.
Okay. Um, what? Oh, that's table. Helps if you look in the right spot. items. There we go. Dungeoneers Pack. All right, so let's see. Let me check one of the parcels first, see if it's there. Nope. So I don't know what this is going to do, but let's find out. Boof. Nope, that did not do it right. Okay, so I'm going to delete it. So you start with backpack. So pull up the items, and I'll do half and you do half. Let me know when you're ready. Find 50 feet of hempen rope and add that to your inventory.
Uh,
And if there's a choice, I don't know if you have the comprehensive equipment manual open, but if you can, you want to drag it from there. If not, it doesn't matter.
I only found silk rope. What the heck? Didn't even know that was in the game.
All right, so find rations, and you want 1 day of rations, and then you want 10 of them. Once you drag it over, change the amount to 10.
Wait, so 10 days of rations or what? Sorry.
So when you search for rations, I think there are like a week's rations or different amounts. What you want is 1 day of ration, single day of ration. And drag it over and then change it to 10 in your inventory.
Okay.
And water skin.
Okay.
And tinderbox. And I've got the last thing. All right, so that gives you 99.56 pounds of stuff you're carrying. All right, so for those of you who didn't follow what I was doing, I didn't really explain myself like I should have. I opened up the Dungeoneers pack and looked at it, and then grabbed everything from the Dungeoneers pack individually and threw it into his inventory. Boom. All right, so that we are pretty much done. All we need to do, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do what I normally do, which is where I make you start at level 1. So go ahead and level him up to 2. Do you remember how to do that?
What? Sorry.
Level him up to level 2.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
And for those of you watching, the best practice, because there are a lot of different books out there, um, you want to make sure when you start your character at level 1, you pull from the class from the book you want. So say your class is from the Xanthar's Guide, the rogue you want is from the Xanthar's Guide. Pull it from the Xanthar's Guide onto your character sheet. And then all you have to do when you level up is click the magnifying glass, go to here where it says class and level, drag that down just a bit and let go, and that'll automatically pull it from the same book every time. So that way it makes it a lot easier for you. All right, so what we're doing is hit points. Go ahead and roll a d8. So what I do in this campaign is we both roll a d8, or
Oof.
and whichever one is better, or worst case, you can stick with the flat. So there's 3 different options. In my case, I rolled a 6 plus 2 is 8. So the flat line is 7. So mine is 1 better. So his max is now 18. All right, did you get anything else at level 2?
I got
Let's
the
see.
Moxie feature, which is
Moxie.
basically uh, key points for.
All right, so Iron Chin, we don't have to code. Fisticuffs, I already did. All right, so Moxie gives you. Where's my Pugilist? Here it is. Go back up to the code here. So at level 2, you get 2 Moxie points. You start knowing 3 features. Brace up, the old 1, 2, and stick and move. You learn more Moxie features as you gain levels, okay? Short or long rest. All right, so let's take a look. I don't see them here. Let's see, is it under? It's not in Moxie either, so let's go here. Back to our Pugilist class. All right, so like the monk, I don't think the stuff is detailed in the class itself. So we'll go to our PDF.
What are you looking for?
Oops, it's not where. What those 3 things are. The brace up, old 1, 2, stick and move. There it is.
Okay.
Boom. All right, so here we go. Fisticuffs. Fight clubs. Okay. Magic items. NPCs. Okay. I guess I'm missing them. Where are the Moxie? Oh, here it is. Okay. So you use a bonus action and spend a Moxie point to brace for attack rolls. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to throw these into a note. What just happened? Interesting. It won't let me copy and paste from here, so I will do it this way. See if that will let me do it. Alright, so I just made a snip of it so I can work with this on my site. Alright, so basically you get, going back to what it actually says, you get a temporary hit points. You can make 2 unarmed strikes, so it's basically a flurry of blows. So just to make sure you understand, Logan, I think you do because you have a monk, so we've already dealt with this. But flurry of blows, for those of you watching, reads exactly the same way. It says immediately after you take the attack action on your turn, you can spend a Moxie point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action. I've seen some people interpret this as you can use your bonus action to do your unarmed strike, spend your point, and make 2 more. That's not how it reads. So you can make a total of 2 for your bonus action instead of just 1. So you would get a
Yeah.
total of 4 attacks um, as a monk
You
or
get
as a pugilist. And
you
last
get
one
a
is,
total of 3, not 4.
oh yeah, at level 1, or yeah,
Yeah.
by the time when I have a 5th level monk that I got stuck in my head. All right, so you can use a bonus action and spend 1 mighty point to make a shove attack or take the dash action. Okay. Yep. Cool. So, and I'll also, if you do want to be a grappler with stick and move, you could use your bonus action to do a grappling action as well. Does not let you disengage like the monk, so that's interesting. All right, but okay, if you shove and successfully, that moves them 5 feet away from you. You can then use your move action to run away. Okay. All right, so I'll code those. Let's see. Let's go to. So we'll close rugs. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up the. There's a couple different ways you can just do a new coding from scratch as a spell. The way I'm going to do it is, so Logan, did you have any other questions for me?
Uh,
Because all I'm going to do now is just code those things. You're welcome to hang out if you want, but it's not really going to. I've got everything I need from you as far as choices to make for the new Pugilist rugs, and I'll take off the name Pugilist here when I'll
okay.
do that now. Boom. Um, I'm going to put a P after the name, just then once we switch, I'll just get rid of the P. That way, as you're looking
Okay.
at, because there's no way of knowing anything, which one is which, because the token picture is the same. So
Okay.
double check everything and go down through the pages. Oh, if you would fill in your, go to your notes page on rugs P and
Yeah.
fill the top part of that in, gender, age, height, weight. If you look at regular rugs, I think all that's filled in. So if you could do that for me, please, before you leave.
Okay.
And then do you have any other questions for me or anything else?
Uh, Not right now.
All right.
But
And then once you're done with the notes, just go down, skim through each tab and see if there's anything that's missing. See if you have any questions, abilities, inventory, anything like that, um, before you sign out. So thanks for hanging with me, Logan. I appreciate it. It's nice having you on, um, showing people what you can do and how you can easily switch from one character to another.
yeah. Thank you for letting me switch classes.
You are welcome. Like I said, the whole point is to have fun. And if you think in the long run you'll have more fun as a pugilist than a monk, then I'm all for it. Let's go for it. I think it'll be a lot of fun to role play this little kobold running around, brass knuckles, punching people and fighting people. Um,
Yeah.
I think it'll be nice. All right, so looking to code his Moxie, what that does is it gives him temporary hit points. And so it's very similar to the second wind. So what I'm going to do is, under spells, I have the fighter's second wind. So what I'm going to do is the same thing I did before. I'm just going to make a copy of it. In this case, I do want it in the same module. So the 5e effects coding class features. So I'm going to go down here to class features, open that up in my group. So now when I make a copy of it, it'll be in the same area. I open it up, unlock it. So now we're going to say Pugilist. So anytime you make a coating like this, that's going to become in your actions page. You can then save it. So if you build it from your actions page like this, make a new action, then you can then drag that. So like a lot of people will do things like a healing potion. They'll code it in your spells. You can then drag that into your spells over here, and then anytime somebody needs one, you can just drag that coding back to the different characters. So it makes it really cool. All right, so this is a bonus action, and it's called Brace Up. I like to have the B in parentheses because it indicates it's a bonus action. Roll your fisticuffs die and your pugilist level and constitution modifier and gain it many temporary hit points. All right, so I sadly do not have a way of
If you don't need me anymore, I guess I'll head out.
Nope, we're good. So we're
Okay.
all set for when we play in a couple weeks. Thanks
Okay.
again for hanging out with me.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, so I don't have a way of copying and pasting this, so I'm just going to type. So it says you can use a bonus action and spend 1 moxie point to brace for attacks. And I had my chat covered up, so I apologize for not saying something. Atomic, if you're still there, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you stopping by. Looks like he was playing some Animal Crossings today, ended his stream playing Animal Crossings. Very cool. So normally I use, because I didn't download the PDF, I was just opening it from a link. It doesn't let me copy and paste. That's not the way to go. If I was doing this whole class, I would definitely download it so I can copy and paste. It makes life so much easier. As a converter, I do conversions myself for money. And if you look on my Twitch down below, there's a couple links there on some of the things I've converted, including the Grappler's Handbook, which is my favorite and I think the most useful one that's there. That and the tome, the Candlekeep book is amazing as well. But anyway, you should be able to copy and paste, slap it in here. In this particular choice, I can't. It's only 2 sentences, so I'm not going to take the time to do all that. But all right, so it says you can use your bonus action to spend a moxie point to brace for attacks. Roll your fisticuffs die. Plus your Pugilist level. That's right, I said Pugilist. plus your Constitution modifier and gain that many temporary hit points. So it's interesting that they're temporary hit points. In other words, if he's hurt, it doesn't heal him like the second wind for a fighter does. Um, but the flip side of that is he can do this in the first turn on his first action, and that's what he should be doing every fight. And he just gets this extra armor in a way, almost like having a shield. Source is Pugilist. All right, so all this is just explaining what it does. So now we close this off. Now, close that. Now it's not there because I have it searched by second. So we're going to do brace up, and now we add it to his thing, and we just switch this from spells to Pugilist. Open up the magnifying glass. So now, right now, his Pugilist dice is 1d6. So we clear the dice, right click on it, clear it, add the 1d6, and then multiple of level or ability. No, what we're doing is, it is level, okay. So it is Pugilist. I don't know if that even exists. Let's see if it'll put it. It didn't put it. So let's see. It doesn't recognize Pugilist as a thing, so let's go with base and see. Oh, there it is, level. I was clicking too fast. Going through plus level. Okay. Plus, so it doesn't allow you to do both. So I could do con or level. So I'm going to go ahead and do con modifier as the bonus. Right now, his con modifier, I think, is 4. Oh, it's not. It's 2. Plus 2. Okay. Type up here is temp. Targeting is self. So we go back to the action page. You see 1d6 plus 4 temporary. Because his level is 2, his con modifier is 2. So if you want to test it out, open up the combat tracker. So rugs isn't in it yet. Let's see. There we go. Rugs P. You see right now he has nothing. Click on this. 10 temporary hit points. There you go. Alrighty. And I'm actually going to put this as Pugilist Moxie. Because then everything under here will be the number of Moxie points that he has a day. Uses right now is 2 per rest. So now when he takes a short rest, he'll get it back. All right. So that is it for me for today. I'm going to go run off. And I will be back tomorrow, though. So 10:30 if you're interested in Starfinder action. If you have questions about anything that was done today, I was dealing with Logan and also doing looking at 3 or 4 different sources there. So I may not have explained everything well. If you have any questions, please comment. I always answer my every comment I get on my YouTube. And this will be up in YouTube here in a little bit. So check it out. You can also check out my other playlists that I have for my live plays for D&D and Starfinder. I also do some Magic the Gathering every once in a while, and I've done a couple other random things here and there. So check them out. Whatever else you do, like, subscribe, and enjoy the rest of your day. Starfinder fun, absolutely. Thanks again.